Okay, welcome to this class. This is React class, or this is MERN stack, which is MongoDB Express, React.js, and Node.js, and React happens to be the first thing we're going to be dealing with in the MERN stack series. And I'm David W. Knows, your regular 5-star rated instructor, and I'm going to be taking you through this series. Okay, now React is a JavaScript library or framework which is created and maintained by Facebook, and it's used for building really super fast and amazing interactive user interface. Okay, so React gives us a way to build websites and user interfaces with organized and reusable components. So we could say React is actually component based. Okay, what then is components? So previously in web design, we normally have our HTML file, our JavaScript file, and our CSS file. But now we view every part of the website as a separate component and handle them differently. So React is fully component based. Okay, so when we say components, let's throw back to when we're dealing with CSS Flexbox and CSS Grid. Okay, I think we had a feel of what a component look like. Okay, when I said every part of the website or the app can be broken down into separate containers. Okay, so we could have a container for the header, a container for the sidebar, a container for the footer, a container for the different posts. Okay, so I believe we did this interface. Okay, so even this top bar here is a container which could have the icon container. Okay, you know, when I say container, it could either be a flex container or a grid. Okay, so inside of this top container, we have the menu container and the user profile container. Okay, so things are just this entire user interface is just a whole bunch of nested container. That means a container inside another container. Okay, we have this sidebar container as well. We have this top area container which contains the top sellers container and the top articles container. Now when dealing with React, now we don't view everything from the standpoint of containers, but rather these containers are what we now call components. Okay, when we call it components, we actually give them more power than a container does. You know, a container, just as the name implies, container, just something that contains some other elements. Okay, it just contains some certain things now, but a component can actually give us more ability. For instance, now a component can have the ability to draw some resources from a database. For instance, now this as a component, now these articles here are going to be pulled from a database and displayed here. So it's not going to be a static container whereby we just had coded them right from our VS Code. Okay, so that is React for you. Okay, so we could have different containers as we could have different components. This is a search component. When we search for something here, it goes down to the database, or the API is being triggered, which in turn fetch some things from the backend and then display what our search results here in this latest articles components. Okay, so everything is just component based when working with React, and components can be more dynamic. For instance, now if this is a container, it have no power, it's just HTML and CSS. But when we talk about a component, now we are talking about something that have more interactivity, because then JavaScript will come into the picture, and we know React is also JavaScript as well. Okay, so if this is a component, now we could make this name to be dynamic. Okay, so all this can be dynamic. Everything could be dynamically injected into all of these things through our JavaScript or through our React. So components only differs from a regular container in the sense that a container, a component is more dynamic than a static or standalone container. So I think that's the best way I can explain what a component and what a container is. Okay, so React, when dealing with JavaScript, with CSS and HTML, we have a bunch of containers, okay, everywhere. But when dealing with React, we have a bunch of components everywhere, and each component can have a nested components as well. All right, Now take for instance Facebook now. Okay, you could say this is a component, and inside this component these are different components. In this place now, this is a component on its own. This search bar is a component on its own. This is a component. These guys here are components. This here is a component. This one's here, this is a sponsored ads component. Okay, this is a component. These are components. So everything are just a bunch of components. This is a component. Even this one is a component as well. Okay, you could see we have the like, comment, and everything. Now if I like this, now this is what the power of React. When I click like, this guy is going to increase. Okay, I think I'm offline. When I click on this one, this is going to increase on the go without my page reloading. These are what React can help you do. Okay, so and when I can easily type a comment and it show me and everything now. So all the speed and swift interactivity in the front end is the power of React.js. Actually JavaScript, but React is a library that makes writing those JavaScript code easier for us. Okay, so that's just it. So this is a component on its own, this is a component on its own. All of them are inside this, or maybe I don't know, you can call this whole thing a particular name because it's a component. You could see the same component is what is being reused, but the value, which is this, the user profile picture, the content, the author name, author image, they are dynamically inserted. Okay, this is a card, okay, with dynamic values. Okay, so it's not just an empty container, so this is actually a component. All right, so React is component based, so that is how it works. Now we could have components for header, footer, button, individual blog posts, etc. Okay, so why do we need to learn React? Now we'll learn React because it makes things organized. Okay, we can actually organize our code. We'll learn React because of reusability. Okay, we can actually reuse things. Okay, so you're going to see all of those things. It's very flexible and it's popular and have a great support now. And in terms of performance now, it's give your app a great performance now because of the way it is being structured underneath. Okay, so React is very declarative. Okay, we can picture the result of this code by the declarative elements, so you could see everything the way it works now. Here we have the header. Just don't worry, as we keep going you're going to see the meaning of some of these theories that you have here. So React works with components, it works with props, works with states, and works with events, and a bunch of other stuff that you will lay your hands on. Just by looking at a particular code now, you can picture what is happening underneath. Okay, so that is React for you. Everything is pretty straightforward if you know it, though it might be stressful wrapping your head around everything from the onset, but once you're able to grab the entire concept of React and how it works, you are just on your pathway to the top. Okay, now when you want to work with React, the first thing you need to do is to install Node.js. So you just visit nodejs.org and you download it. So Node.js is needed because we need to use its npm, with which we can install create React app, which gives us a boilerplate to start with. I know this is a whole lot of grammar for you, but the bottom line is before you can start creating a React application on a React site, you just go over to nodejs.com. Is it .com or .org? That is if you don't already have Node.js installed in your machine, in your system. So you ensure to install Node.js in your system. So just go over to nodejs.org and then you install the latest version of Node.js. I already have Node.js installed, so I'm not going to install it. Okay, I'll just show you. It's a straightforward installation process, so there's nothing to worry about. So you could see for Windows, recommended for most users, this is the latest version, so you could just download this one, the recommended one, download it, and then you install it. Just click on it to start downloading, but I'm going to cancel this guy because I already have Node.js installed. Alright, so once it's finished downloading, just click on it or double click on it, it will start installing. Once Node.js is installed, it's quite easy. Okay, let's open our command prompt first and see. Okay, so just type, after installing, just type node-v to check the version of Node.js you've installed. If you do this now and you can't find the version of Node.js you've installed, just know that Node.js have not been installed properly. But if you can see the version of Node.js you have, then know that Node.js was successfully installed. Then you can move on to the next thing. You need to install VS Code, which I believe you already have VS Code, because coming here means you've done a couple of other things like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, you should also install Git as well for version control and deployment. So you could go to git/scm.com. Though this is not really needed for now, you might not really need it for now. Much more later, at the end of the course, we'll look into how to deploy to GitHub and the rest of it now. So you might skip this one, or you might want to install it for now, left for you, but it's not a prerequisite for working with React. Okay, so you may want to install React development tool for Chrome or Firefox. So for your Chrome now, you can install some React dev tools. There's a place you install some extension. Okay, see extension here for Chrome. So you could search for React dev tools. So you could see it here. I already have it in my browser. So if I open any site that have React, let's see, you see Facebook have React in it. That's why you see this guy will automatically come out now. This is React dev tool. Okay, so React development tool has access to the site. So if I open any site that have React in it, it will automatically show blue. That's how I know that React was used in that site. So you see Facebook React was used in it. Alright, so I already have it. So if you don't have it, just search for it from here and then you install it. Then it will be launched. It will be integrated into your Chrome. Firefox also have similar extension as well. So you want to install that one as well. Then you also want to download Postman, which is an HTTP client. So when we start working with APIs, we will need Postman to test our backends. Okay, so you could just Google Postman here. You could just Google Postman here, and you can download Postman here, and you can download Postman here. So go over here, we have Postman. Just click on download Postman. It's quite easy. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is this. Okay, I think it's trying to open up. So just open any of them. I think my network is have an issue here. Okay, so okay, so when it's open like this now, you could go over and then download it. It's free to download. So could accept the cookies. Download Postman desktop agents. So this is it now. I'm using a Windows 32, so just go ahead and click on this one, then it will start the downloading. So it's a straightforward process also, just like the I'm going to cancel this 164. I have it already, so I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to download it. Oh, it's still downloading. Okay, so it's a straightforward process. So install it just the same way you install Node.js, and then you'll be ready to go. So when we start building our APIs, we use Postman to test our backends. Okay, all right. So those are some of the tools that you would need to Now, apart from these tools, now you may also want to install some extensions. I know some of you might have been wondering um, about my codes. Sometimes when I'm working with VS Code, you see some things, and like when I want to console log, I just type C LG and then it helps me. You might be wondering, those are some of the power of extension. And sometimes maybe you have some codes that are not well arranged. Now there are some extension that could help you just format your code, okay, for you, like prettier formatter will help you just rearrange the whole thing. Okay, those are power of extensions. So in your VS Code now, you could go over to this place, extensions, and from here you could see I have up to 9 extensions that are installed. Okay, so you may want to install all of these as well. So number one extension that you will need, just install everything I have in this list. The first one is ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native Snippets. This enables us to quickly generate components which are functional components or any kind of components. So you need this one. So you need bracket pair colorizer. It colorizes your curly braces, square brackets, etc. It makes troubleshooting easier to know where particular blocks end. So you need this also. GitHub dark, you can install this one if you want to. So all of them are there. This bracket pair, just type bracket pair there. Bracket pair colorizer. You see, you can install. I think there's one I installed. I can't remember which of them because we have a couple of them there. So you could go ahead. Just those tools just make your work easier. Let me see. I think I've uninstalled that bracket pair, so you could install it because my VS Code is already doing a great job. I think one of the extension that I installed is already doing that bracket pair colorizing for me, so that's why I did not. So IntelliSense for CSS class name, you'll need to install this one as well. Okay, so live server, you will need to install it. You need to install Prettier code formatter. Tailwind CSS IntelliSense, you need to install this one also, but though we are not doing Tailwind for now. Okay, so those are some of the extensions you may need to. JavaScript ES6 code snippets, we use it. Okay, this is the one I use to get my CLG for console log, and also it's trash or cache. So just type JavaScript ES6 code snippets. Okay, this is it, JavaScript ES6 code snippets. So this is it now. So prettier formatter, we use this one. JSX HTML tags, so we use this one as well. I think you can find it there, JSS HTML tags. So this is it. So just install all of this and you will be fine. Okay, so installing an extension is very easy. So you just type the name of the extension you want and then you click install. Once you click install, it will automatically install, and then it's part of your VS Code and is available for every project you are working on. Okay, so you don't need to keep installing and installing the project every now and then. All right, so okay, that's just it. So once you've done the above, you've installed your Node.js and then you've tested it and you see that it's showing the version node and Node.js is installed well, you install your Postman so that you'll be ready to test some APIs when we start dealing with APIs, and then your VS Code is set because you've installed all your extensions. Then I guess you are pretty okay to dive into the next phase of the class, okay, which is the React basics and JSS. Okay, so see you in the next class. Thank you.